talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day. Na, 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 na.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me.
Oh.
My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, it's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
On and supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
you are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Nah, I knew that was going to be
But
the answer.
I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. Or I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so I can come over.
Come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Podchaser, JioSaavn, Tiki Live, Rumble, and more. And this is a show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K words, no Kardashian talk at all, because I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have topics, guests, and co-hosts to help me to that end. And I forgot, I reminded them to do it, and then I didn't give them a chance. This is Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa and yay! Let's give us a little applause. Let's see who can get at it first. I think it is going to be you. It's called Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa and Sam Works, and also known as Battle of the Boards. Who can reach the button on the board first? And we did manage with technology to get his, I'm not crazy about that picture, but at least we have you on the screen now, and I'm thrilled about that. We'll work on a bigger picture, but you can still tell he's cute on there, but it kind of looks like your face is a little, like, do you see it? So we're stretching Sam out in the face. Okay, that we could go several ways with that, but we'll leave that alone. And I'm so glad you're here. I see the eyeballs rolling in, literally, from my YouTube channel. Oh, there's a nice thumbs up there. Thank you. From my YouTube channel, as well as my Facebook Live on both platforms, the profile and also the public page. So I'm so glad you're here. We're going to have some straight talk. We're going to talk about what men want. And if we have time, we'll talk about what women want. But I figured we start with that, see where it goes. And then next week, we can talk about what women want to balance it out. And welcome to Jim Highland, who's here from Florida. Thank you for coming in and saying hello and weighing in on what you think men want from your perspective. And before I continue, we know that men are all different, and I'm not trying to stereotype or to generalize, but because I am going back into the market, so to speak, into the fishing market, plenty of fishing market, although I'm not going on that app, plenty of fish. We'll talk about that in a minute too. But I know that, there are some specific characteristics about men, and that, generally some things that they want and or specifics. And we've got great Jim's from an older generation and Sam's from a younger generation. Neither one of them are bad or good, but it'll be interesting to see what kinds of conclusions and what we can learn today. So that's what today's show's about. Sam, you know the drill. Let's start with a little of the gratitude sandwich. We'll do it real quick, just one specific 5-word that you're grateful for, and then appreciations.
Okay, so one. You want one?
No. I want one, but we don't have to elongate it into a couple of sentences. Let's laser it so we have more time to talk about the topic.
All right, well, I'm grateful to be on your show, Dr. Marissa.
Aw, I'm grateful that you're on my show. Do you feel the love?
I'm
I'm grateful to have 6 jobs.
I'm grateful that I don't have 6 jobs.
I am grateful that I think I have the record on different ways to bring money energy in.
I am grateful to live in California.
And I am grateful to live on the water, the ocean of abundance on the beach. Well, not on the beach, but overlooking the beach. All right. So that was 8 specific gratitudes. You're all having breakfast with us called Gratitude. Take a bite of my gratitude sandwich first thing in the morning. So start your day in the most positive way. So we just finished that. And now we go to the bottom of the bun, which you're supposed to do at the end of the night. So 8 things that you appreciate about yourself. Feel free to play along on the chat. Jim, what do you appreciate about yourself? And Sam, what do you appreciate about yourself?
I appreciate that I'm very optimistic.
Yep. I appreciate that I do best case scenario faster than worst case scenario.
I appreciate that I like to be clean.
I appreciate that I do pronoia faster than I do paranoia.
Something that I appreciate about myself is that I like to continue to learn and educate.
And Jim's popping in. He's appreciating good health. So, yep, fabulous. And then I think that takes us to 7. So I'll do one more. I appreciate that I am creative with my wardrobe. I like to express my creativity in my wardrobe. All right, that is it. Let's see who gets to the applause first. Da, 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 da. That's 2 for 2. Dang it. Okay, so fabulous. Thanks for having breakfast with us, Jim, and anyone else. If you're in your car, you know you're to do that with someone who's in the car with you. Do not try to type while you're driving. All right, so let's get to the topic at hand, which is what do men want? So I'll start with you, Sam. When you're looking let's separate it out. Here's a $1 million question. When you're looking for just fun, is it different than when you're looking for a relationship? Do you want something different when you're just, boys just want to have fun? If you're looking for a couple night stand, or if you're just going out to, satisfy, I don't know. I think you're, again, an anomaly, but is there a difference between looking for a relationship, what you want in a woman, and if you're just looking to have some fun?
I definitely think that there is a huge difference, depending on what you're going out for, like if you want to go out for fun, or if you are looking for a relationship. Because a relationship, if you're going out for fun, let me backtrack. If you're going out for fun, then that's the main objective, right? Is to have fun. But in a relationship, there's more to it. There's more variables in the equation. Like, it's also about being serious and finding loyalty and, making sure that not everything, but at least 88% of things are with each other, right?
Right.
When it's just for fun, you can tolerate the BS. You can, not even think about anything else other than, okay, we're just here to have fun. So that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
When it comes, and you can kind of see that as you're going along and taking your time and trying to find the one that you want.
Okay, I'm going to put the moose on the table and do some straight talk, which is our show together. Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa and Sam Works. If you've just tuned in, we're talking about what men want and starting that convo. Feel free to chat in. I'm going to say that is any of this true? So if a guy is going out on a Friday or Saturday night and he's not looking for a relationship, but he wants to have some fun, he basically is looking for some a woman who looks hot, that whatever hot means, if you're a boob guy, or a boob, yeah, a boob guy, should I say that this early in the morning? And you're usually with your friends. So any woman who satisfies the she looks hot is what you're looking for. So your friends will be like, ooh, and then you're turned on, and you're just looking forward to scoring, and one night stand, old expression here, wham bam, thank you ma'am, and that is what you're looking for. Whereas if you are looking for a relationship, you wouldn't necessarily go to a bar to find her. And if you do find her and you get striking up a conversation, you're probably going to ask things about her that are important to you versus just getting her number, or not even getting her number, just finding out if she'll go home with you. How much of that is accurate? That's in my head.
I would say it's pretty accurate. I think you know what guys want in a sense. Same thing with girls too. I feel like if a girl just wants to have fun, she is going to get all.
And there's some straight talk. We really have to have sound effects. Remind me, I keep forgetting to put sound effects on the soundboard because this is a show for it, for sure. So if you're looking now, but here's the deal. What if a woman, and this is where I think we get into trouble, is they're going to a bar not for a hookup. Most women, I mean, some women are, and the younger generation definitely. I've had this conversation with my daughters where they really do say that they can do friends with benefits. They really do say that they can have sex and not have emotional bonding. I know that in my generation, even though I'm ageless, I've met very few women in my generation who really honestly can go have a one night stand and not feel a little remorse when the guy doesn't call, because in her mind somehow she thought that this was not a one night stand, that this was actually the beginning of a relationship. So I think that gender difference really messes things up at the bar.
Well, I had a conversation the other day about friends with benefits, and me personally, I don't think that works, right? Because there's a difference in bed when it comes to you having sex and then you just dogging someone. I guess that's the best way I can put it on radio. But people have sex, it's usually an emotional connection where there's intimacy, there's attachment. That's if you're having sex, but if you're just dogging someone, then yeah, I guess that kind of goes around. But when it comes to friends with benefits, it's not just a one night stand. It's multiple times throughout your life, whatever, with the person with no connection. But the more you do it, the more of a connection you have with someone. So it's, at the end of the day, you're eventually going to get attached.
Yes.
Right?
So you agree with me then?
Yes, of
Of course.
course.
Because you're my co-host. So you're saying that even men can't just have a one night stand and not have some emotional attachment?
No, you can have a one night stand, but you can't have friends with benefits. Because friends with benefits is a continuum of having sex. One night stand is just one night, let it go, and then just call it a memory, call it a conquest if they're hot, yeah. Right? Okay. I'm beginning to think maybe I could do that.
I know, I'm like going backwards instead of forwards. Although I have to say, now that I'm feeling better about the way I look in my body, I am definitely seeing, I'm definitely feeling more attracted to men than I used to, and especially younger men. Even though last week we talked about me never wanting to be a cougar, I was like, the universe is trying to test that and say, are you really sure? Because he's put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attractive men in front of me since Saturday. So, I was on a sailboat. I was one of the coaches for the Heroes Regatta, and my boat was filled with firemen. Of course, I had good karma, and I was telling them that my history with firemen is when I was much younger and running a modeling school, which is how I came into California. A little bit of Dr. Marissa trivia. Long time ago, I was in Beverly Hills. It was called the John Robert Powers Modeling School and Agency, and I was the training. I don't know. I can't remember my title, but it was a long time ago. But I remember walking to the agency one day, and I passed a long fire truck, and they were just sitting there. And when I turned back to look, they all had little cardboard pieces of paper out with a 10 on it. And I was so delighted. Isn't that sweet? It was it was so awesome. Now, they would never be allowed to do that now. I'm sure. Like, they told me that they were like, that would never happen now. But in those days, it was okay. And I appreciate that I got that memory for life, and I'll never forget that. But I digress. There was 2 guys, and I'm guessing they were the ones I thought were cute. One was 25, one was 31. And, I know one was single for sure. And then at the end of the race, it's like, which one should I pick or whatever. I said to them, you're both super cute, but you're too old for me. And everybody on the boat was laughing. The captain was laughing. It was so funny. But I have to admit that was Saturday. By last night, I was out on the water again with my Wet Wednesdays, my new team, the Orlando water sport team, and it's the other USC boat. And, there's some guys that are very attractive, same at the yacht club. And I was rethinking what I told you about not dating younger men, because I'm attracted to them. So why should I not date younger men if I'm attracted to them?
I don't see anything wrong with that. And younger guys keep you young too. So even though you're ageless, they can still bring up your spirits.
Well, we're getting off topic here, but I mean, okay, now actually let's bring it back to topic. So would you see an older woman as more of a conquest for the night or for a longer relationship?
Truth be told, probably a conquest, because I don't know, it's really difficult for someone who is young and ambitious and hasn't gotten everything together yet to be with someone who's already ready to settle, like per se, we'll just use that example. So it's like they're not on the same wavelength, and age doesn't really matter, because you can still be in your 20s and have everything figured out, be successful, and want family. And the same thing applies when you're like in your 30s, 40s, and so on and so forth. So as long as, everyone is able to and ready, like mentally and physically, then yeah, I wouldn't see a problem with that. But there's a lot of people, especially my age, who just doesn't have their stuff together. So it's harder to find a younger person who is ambitious and is on the right path, or maybe even already there, you know?
Right. Okay. So I put Jim's comment. He's looking for honesties, but here's the interesting thing. When you first said I see them more as conquest versus seeing them as a long-term relationship. My first thought was, oh, you don't find older women attractive. And this is, again, a common from the women that I've spoken to. What is it about us that makes us feel like we are less? Why do we judge ourselves so harshly? I don't understand that. And then as you continue to explain it, it's got nothing to do with my attractiveness or the woman's attractiveness. It has everything to do with what you're talking about timing wise, that you feel as a younger guy, you don't have your stuff together enough to be a match with an older woman who may have already her stuff, her ducks lined up in a row, at least more ducks than you do.
Some guys get excited when, like a sugar mama pulls up. They're like, yeah, they'll take it, but it's just like, morally speaking, to me, like, that's how I view it. Like, if I'm not ready, then I ain't ready. But some people who are like, oh, dude, some 45-year-old like wants to date me, hell yeah, I'm gonna take that. And they're gonna use that as, leverage, as bragging rights, as everything. Like, even experience in bed, it's definitely a plus. But the other end of things, like when I dated the 33-year-old who's 11 years older than I am, society viewed her negatively, and society viewed me as a dog. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not really like, I don't know how to say it. Like, society really takes a toll on decisions.
Yes, the stigma. I was thinking about that this morning in the shower. What would it be like if we lived in a stigma-free world? Stigma-free about age, stigma-free about color of skin, stigma-free about gender orientations. I mean, wouldn't that be amazing? But that's like Pollyanna, super Pollyanna, because we have, we definitely make judgments about everything. So that is exactly why I said last time that I don't want to be a cougar, because there is judgment. And even if a guy said to me, I'm not, I am attracted to everything about you, the stigma would still be, oh, he's with her because she's his sugar mama.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're as famous as Dr. Marissa, then yeah, the stigma is gonna be there for sure. But if you're just like an older woman, just don't really have company or people to really judge you or make decisions for you or even help you in relationships, then yeah, like, you need somebody, and if you match with somebody, then you match with them, regardless of age, education, or whatever. But then that's when you really got to start reflecting on yourself, on like the things that you want in a person, the things that you find in a woman or a man.
Yeah. We've got a great comment from Jason Filler here. Guys forget that we are with a woman that is with us for who we are and what we're about, not the bala. What's the bala? You'll have to clarify what the bala is, but I get your point. So I'm sorry, what?
Maybe it's the status, maybe not the bala, like not the status.
Okay, not the status. Okay, so you can clarify if that is correct, but that's like a very it makes sense. And what's interesting is this is also applicable to the woman. If I substituted, women forget that we are with a man, we forget that a man is with us for who we are and what we're about, not the stuff on the outside. but the stuff on the outside is part of who we are. So knowing all of that, I'm gonna take a prediction or set an intention that instead of you waiting for you to get all your ducks lined up in a row before you meet someone that is special, I would say that a match for you would be a woman who has maybe the same number of ducks in a row. So she's got some things that are working out really well. She's on the path. She has a love for the things that she's doing. She has high ambitions as well. She has very little time, but the time that she has, she wants to spend with you, and you grow together. You are able to pass things back and forth and use each other as support and creative problem solving and as a sounding board, and that she is hot enough to make your toes curl or butterflies in the stomach, and that she has similar aspirations, that maybe in a different field, but she wants to have a family as well, but she's in no hurry. So that's the woman but she loves spending the time that you have, and you can enjoy the parts of relationship that, like, intimacy, physical intimacy, emotional intimacy, while you're getting your ducks in a row. How's that sound?
Here's the thing, though, when it comes to like prioritizing, right?
Uh-huh.
Your table's already full. Like your egg basket's already filled. Trying to get a relationship, now you have to sacrifice a little bit of time from everything to spend time with whoever you're dating, right? So prioritize. With me, with my ex, we broke up because I didn't prioritize her as, like, the top three things in my life, whatever. And the only time that I did have time with her was that night when I finished everything. And I know I said this before, but it stuck with me. She says, you only want to see me when you're hungry or you're horny, which was completely false. Absolutely wrong. But I just wanted to make sure I had my everything, going before I got here, because I'm working on my life. And even though, yes, I'm working with someone, the relationship is working on my life, myself building is more of a priority. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. No, I hear you, and I heard you, but did you hear the difference in what I described for you that's different than that relationship you had? So I'm talking about a similar woman who had all her, the attraction factor was there for you. You really loved her personality. You loved it. But the thing that's different than what I'm talking about, because this is like law of attraction, Abraham Hicks stuff, which is every time you find something you don't like, you know what you do like. Every time you find something you don't want, you know something more about what you do want. So you want someone. I just described someone that was exactly like her, except she doesn't say, all you want me for is H&H. What she does say is, I'm just as busy and I have things, and I'm not going to see our time together as scraps, because I have just as much going on. And I'm secure enough that I know that we're in this for the long haul. And as long as we're growing together, as long as we're having fun together, as long as we have similar, whatever it is, then I have faith that you're not going to screw around with my emotions, but I'm not going to see you not having a lot of time as an issue.
That's very tough for people in general.
True. Absolutely. But I think that someone like that exists for you, just the same way as if I'm really going to start dating, I have to believe that there's a guy that is strong alpha, and still does not feel threatened by me, and still is okay with the same kind of thing. I don't have a lot of time, but I'll make time if I am, attracted to them, and vice versa. And I have to believe that he's attracted to me not for all the wrong reasons, but for all the right reasons. Wrong, not wrong, but non-useful is how I say it. So the non-useful ideas would be that he sees me as a way to, notoriety and riches. Okay. That's obviously, so he has to have enough of that recognition and the riches on his own. Right. So now I'm pivoting now, because what's interesting is I woke up a couple days ago and I just wrote down. It's such a different list. And I started it with when I was with you before. And I strongly believe in the power of intentions and setting intentions. That if I really want to have a good relationship, I have to be specific about what I want. And what I want is completely different than what I thought I wanted. So I thought I wanted someone tall, good looking, I'm attracted to physically, has X amount of dollars in the bank, is successful in this, who has, is generous and all of those things. And the list got longer and longer and longer. And it's like, it's so long, it's not possible. Right. So then I thought, well, what do I really want? Practically, what do I really want? And with that, we're going to go on a break. We're going to take a commercial break because I'm being naughty, but I do want to highlight a couple of things. So we're going to be right back. Stay tuned to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. And because we're doing Straight Talk every Thursday morning here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. If conforming to the world was exploring the world? What if the question, what do you want to be when you grow up, little girl, turns into how many streets of life you want to explore? What if the purpose of life is not to die with the most toys to leave our squabbling relatives? What if the purpose of life was to do things that we enjoy most of the time? Have relationships that we enjoy most of the time, and use our unique talents, gifts, and abilities to fully express in the dash between birth and death? What if, as a direct result of this horrible pandemic, we could rise out of the ashes with a new PPP, post-pandemic possibilities? The sooner you turn "it's impossible" to "I'm possible," the what ifs become possible too. Because you are loving, lovable, and loved, wrapped in a warm blanket of worthiness. But it may start with getting out of bed and making it. What if starts with
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. And every Thursday morning here on NBC News Radio, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, and my YouTube channel, where if you free subscribe, you're going to get an alert every weekday morning at 8 for fabulous shows. Co-hosts on Thursday, regular now with Sam Work Straight Talk. And tomorrow morning, my Friday co-host fired up. Hashtag UP Unlimited Possibilities with Cynthia Kahi. So just lots of great things. If you missed my interviews, gosh, I've I've had a lot of different interviews. My red carpet with the Temptations, the red carpet with Lieutenant Uhura, who we lost, Nichelle Nichols. Really funny, great moments that I will treasure for the rest of my life. Just go to my YouTube channel. And Sam, I not only passed the 250,000 mark, I am now at 270,000 views. I don't know how that happened in a very short time. My TikTok, I've got 199.1 thousand clip, and I just got contacted by Instagram saying you now qualify to be a creator. So I don't know what's going on, but thank you for watching my reels. Something's going on, and I'm grateful for it. All right. Thank you, Sam. That's 3 times, although I didn't try to beat you for that applause. And now, drum roll, please. What do I want? So here it is. I want a man who loves to play games, not those kind of no head games, but I love playing board games. I love backgammon. I love Phase 10. I love Catan. I love board games, period. Okay. So yes, I can do that with friends, but wouldn't it be great, like at the end of the day, instead of sitting and watching TV, we could actually have games. And he can't let me win, but he can't win all the time, but I can't win all the time either. Okay. Someone who loves good food. I think being a foodie, if they're not a foodie, they just like watching me eat, because I am one, and I am one with my food, and I love it. So they don't have to be a foodie, but they have to like watching me eat. Who loves to scratch my back, no deep tissue massage, so you're not going to hurt your arms, or rubbing my head or my hand or my feet. I love that. And I will reciprocate, but ideally he doesn't need it. A man who is successful in his business, so that I can look up to him and respect him. And when I look at him, I feel frisky. So I'm not saying the type, because honestly, there's less of a type right now. I see sometimes, don't laugh at me, but there's a guy in one of my Candy Crush ads who is not my type, but I'm telling you, if I met him at a party, I would be totally into him. Don't laugh. That's Candy Crush ad. I'm not going to tell you which one. Okay. And he does not have an issue with addictions, either because he's a normie or because he's in solid recovery, who is not threatened by my success or my place in the public eye, who's not looking for me to support him emotionally or financially outside of the normal bell curve. Someone who so obviously someone with not oversized emotional baggage, okay, or financial baggage. Someone who has enough money that likes to treat me for travel and food, not because I don't want to be equal rights, but I do value chivalry more than my rights to open my own door or to feel, so like a balance on that one. To feel like I'm the object of his desire, both physically, emotionally, and financially. So yes, he has to be an 8 out of 10 and generous. Not, let's see, I can't read my writing here. And a 2 out of 10 on being frugal. because I want to balance out any kind of codependent generosity, like if he's just a giver and he gives so much. No particular height or weight or color, as long as I get frisky when I already said that. Now, here's the one thing. A deal breaker is not a Trump supporter. I'm sorry. That is something that I don't want to have to argue about that. You have every right to love him or support him, but a person that does that doesn't match my value system. Same with one that flies a Confederate flag around. That's also a deal breaker. And or an evangelical Christian that is constantly saying that, you're going to go to hell if you don't believe this way. That's, again, if you want to do that, you have every right to do that, but I'm not the girl for you, because that'll not be in any kind of harmony. And that's it. So how long did that take? That took 8 minutes. So 8 minutes of what I want. And it is a vastly different, it may sound like I'm just as picky, but the kinds of things I don't need him to have gazillion dollars. I don't need him to be a billionaire. I don't need him to be a millionaire even, but just enough that they're comfortable with, and I'm not exorbitant, don't need a private plane, don't need all that, but wanting to treat me to like little getaways, again, not because I can't afford it, but it is a show of I desire you. And I think that's, for the modern woman, that's a tough one, because we've gotten that pendulum so far that some women are like, I'm paying half. I can take care of myself. I can take care of myself. But I want at home to know that there's a man who wants to cherish me.
I can see that you're not an extremist. Like, you don't want someone who's super Christian or who's super conservative or whatever, or who's a villain. Like, you're not an extremist. I think that's a good thing, because not everyone's on one side or the other. There's a balance. You're in there.
Yes, that's why it's all about balance. So,
but, some people, I think they experience too many relationships to where they're like, I want someone like Steve who can cook, and I want someone like Robert who can dance, and this and this. And like, the more I feel like you go out there and experience, the less the chance of you being content with just one person. That makes sense.
No, you need to expand on that, because there's something really a nugget there. Go on. You're saying that
no one's perfect, right? So my mom always told me, she says, it doesn't have to be perfect, she just has to be worth it, right?
Ooh, I like that. I'm writing that down for the books. She doesn't have to be perfect. She just has to be worth it. I like your mom. I got to get her on the show.
I'm sure you like her. I know that's true. But,
Oops, I spelt mom wrong. Sorry.
They have really good values. They're very sweet. They're a sweetheart. They have money, whatever. Then there's like, the little flaws. But then you date another person, and they have, good characteristics that you really like, but then they also have those flaws that you didn't really ask for. And then you just keep going down the list, keep going down people, and you're like, man, I just want someone who's like this. But it's like, can one person have everything that you want in a relationship?
Well, I think there's a balance in there. I think there is a danger of getting too specific, but at the same time, I believe that you can get more than you think. And I'm directed at the women who put up with way more than they should be. And we have a tendency to do that, because if we don't feel we're worthy of it, then we will put up with stuff. So
here's what I want.
Okay, yes, I'm sorry. That was the next question.
So I like how Jen said honesty, like that's fair, that's good. But with me, I you love someone, you can still hurt them, right? You can still turn your back on them. But if you are loyal to them, no matter what, if you're mad at them, or if you hate them, or if like people are just going in your head, if you are loyal to one person, you are there. That I would want. I'm out there running a business, I'm out there traveling this, or if I'm just making this person super upset, whether she's mad at me or not, she's gonna be loyal to me, right? If that's what it was. And another thing, I feel like there's a difference between love between man and a woman. So how do men show women love? You know, they treat them right, they give them flowers, they make them feel like they're the only woman in the world. But for men, how men receive love, it should, to me personally, it should be by respect. Because if you don't respect me, I don't feel loved. Right?
Yeah. Very important point. Absolutely. I totally agree with you. So in addition to honesty, the Jim put up loyalty, so my husband definitely failed on that one, because he would introduce me behind my back to people and say I was obese. So you want someone who thinks you are the cat's meow, even when they're mad at you, and not say anything malicious or unkind behind your back. Right?
Exactly, and I think that's what loyalty is.
Exactly. So that's a really good distinction. I would like that too. I think
everyone makes mistakes, throughout their life. So it's like, even if I'm loyal to you and you were messing up left and right, like I will get upset and whatnot, but I will still be loyal to you and still respect you, because I know as human beings we all make mistakes.
yes, absolutely. That whole idea of perfection and it's really interesting how women will say, I want to be with someone who gets me and loves me exactly how I am with all of my imperfections. And then they turn around and they see the guy and go, I don't like this about you. I don't like that about you. I don't like this about you. And why can't you change for this? And and it's like, what happened to that? What you want? If you want someone to love you for who you are, why don't you love them for who they are? Right? It's really a double standard that I when I coach couples, I find that is a common thing. And so then I go back to Don Miguel. I love his book, The Mastery of Love. He says, if you do not like a person the way they are most of the time, and I put in 80% because that's what I do. So my rule is, if you don't like that person 80% of the time exactly as they are, and you are focused on how they are not making you happy most of the time, then for goodness sakes, let them go, because it's got to be miserable for them. They come to me and go, oh, he doesn't do this. And it's just like, darling, if you're that unhappy, then you can't be fun to be with, as in that part of the relationship. Let them go find someone who really enjoys them the way they are.
And I think first mistake is being attracted to somebody off their looks first, right? Because that's what drives people to each other first, and then they just want to stick it out, like, oh man, like she's so beautiful, like blah blah blah. But then like as the relationship goes on, then it's like, okay, it's not about just beauty, like you're dirt. You know what I mean? Like you start to, like you at first in relationships you can you can hold back, you can take whatever dirt that's coming around, but eventually you're like, okay, is this even worth it? You know what I mean? Like, she's an awesome cook and she has money, but she disrespects me. She's gone all the time. She doesn't even answer my phone calls. Like, so that's when like it starts to turn. So like in the beginning, like my ex, one that we dated for such a long time, I was not attracted to her at first.
Interesting.
But I gave her a chance, and then the more I got to know her, the more beautiful she was, and the more I liked her. And it was solely based off like personality and connection rather than just attraction through the eyes.
Interesting. Interesting. Did she become more attractive to you?
Oh yeah, now yes, and she did.
Like physically?
Yes, physically, yes. It's crazy.
That is crazy. So, because that's one of the BS belief systems that I've always, how can you turn a friend into someone that is attractive? I've never been able to do it, but you're saying that it's possible. And Colette, thank you for chiming in there. She's my every other Monday co-host. Colette Tracy, she says, totally agree. It's really about compromise. So you're saying, Sam, you can absolutely develop like toe curling feelings.
Definitely. Like me personally, I'm more of like an emotional guy. Like I said, I can talk to any girl, whether like the majority of the people think she's ugly or not. Like I can have no conversation. I can talk to whoever I want to talk to. But depending on the person's like heart and soul, beauty inside them, that's kind of like what attracts me. You know what I mean?
So let's talk about attractiveness in the last 2 minutes we have. What constitutes attractiveness?
Okay, here's my thing. I think sex. If you tell a girl she's sexy, you're talking about her body. If you tell a girl she's cute or she's pretty, you're talking about her face. But if you're telling a girl that she's beautiful, I think you're talking about like her heart or like her soul. Like her whole persona.
Sam, you're getting more attractive by the second. That's brilliant. Did your mom teach you that too? No. Okay, so we got to put that on the chat. Say that again. So sexy equals body. Cute or pretty equals face, and beautiful equals heart and soul. Interesting. How about whole package? I think beautiful is whole package.
Yeah, I mean, sexy for sure is only temporary when girls are in the prime. Because I have met some.
Oh, whoa. Them's fighting words. Sexy is only when they're in their prime?
Well, it's temporary. That's what I meant to say.
Okay. Thank you.
But I've met older women, like, in their 60s and older, who I'm like, wow, she's beautiful. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But I don't think I'm going to go to an old granny and be like, wow, you're sexy. Like, that's not part of it, But I have seen beautiful older women, for sure.
Okay. And you're not talking about me because I'm ageless, so I don't fall in that category. Well, we're out of time. You didn't even give me a warning. I'm so glad you tuned in. What a great discussion we had today. Every Thursday, tune in for Dr. Marissa and Sam Works Straight Talk. I hope you have the best day ever. Sam, you ready? It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. We'll see you tomorrow with Cynthia Coffee. Fired Up Fridays. Thanks for tuning in. Have the best day ever.